Agustin Fuentes is my guest. He's an anthropologist, a professor of anthropology at Princeton University, a gentleman I love having on the program. We've talked about his books before. We've talked about life in COVID. We've talked about a number of things because the gentleman has so many interesting things to say. And one thing I love about Agustin is that he tweets quite often. And his tweets, I feel, are like talking to Agustin because he touches on so many different topics and so many different things that are fascinating. So having said that, Agustin, welcome back to
Thanks,
Life Elsewhere.
Thank you. I am so glad to be here. It's always a joy to chat with you.
Thank you. Okay, so I've set you the task of choosing 3 books and 1 non-book as a gift for the holiday season.
And I have 3 great books, but I tell you, it's so challenging because there's so many good ones. But let's just dive into these 3, right?
Yes.
So the first is The Mutant Project by Eben Kirksey. Eben Kirksey is an anthropologist, a colleague of mine who's a great writer, a great adventurer, and a really good scientist, right? A sort of investigator of the human experience. And so this book, The Mutant Project, it's about CRISPR, the new gene editing technology, but it is a mystery, a travel novel, sort of an investigation into the complex world of genetics and genomics, and you meet the most amazing array of characters. You travel to multiple continents, and it's exciting and engaging. So if you're going to read a book about genetics, right, and about CRISPR, read this one because it's fun, it's informative, and it's really engaging.
And it's very topical, isn't it? The subject itself, yes.
And,
so that's
It includes some stories about the person who just won, one of the 2 of the team who just won the Nobel Prize for it. So,
right. Yes. Okay, cool. That sounds really good. The Mutant Project by Eben Kirksey.
Kirksey, yeah.
Kirksey,
all right.
Yes.
The second book is Caste by Isabel Wilkerson. And there are a number of books about race and racism, both in the United States and in the UK, that are very important. It's areas that I've worked in for years. I think it's extremely important. And sometimes people get overwhelmed. There's just too much information about it. But you know, it's 2020 and there's no excuse not to be really knowledgeable about our history and about the processes of racism. And this book, Caste, really lays it out in a way that I think is accessible, engaging, accurate, and really teaches something. So it's a great gift book because it's enjoyable reading. It's a very well done. It has sort of all these different stories and backgrounds, but it really hits the nail on the head and says, look, this is a problem and here's what we need to do about it.
What is Isabel Wilkinson's background? What is her?
I think she's a historian, but I don't know that for sure. I just got it and read it recently. I haven't looked into her background yet, but I think she may be a historian. I know she's has written quite a bit. So,
Caste with an E, of course, The Origins of Discontents by Isabel Wilkinson. That's book number 2 from Agustin Fuentes. Number 3.
Number 3 is a book that has been with me for my entire life. Was read to me by my parents before I even remember, and that I revisit at least once a year, if not more. And that's The Little Prince. I heard it first in Spanish, El Principito. The original's in French, but the English translation is The Little Prince by Antoine Saint-Exupéry. And it's old. It's an old book. I think 1945 or 43 was when it was written. And it is just, for me, and I hope for others, a beautiful engagement with why being human matters and why we should care about one another. It's really a beautiful story. It's sad, it's wonderful, it's imaginative. People call it a children's story. No, it's just a story for all of us. And it's one that I highly encourage people to read.
A great choice, Agustin, because it is one of my favorite books. I have a treasured copy of it that belonged to my father.
Fantastic.
I love that book. 3 great books. Non-book gift. This is difficult, isn't it?
So yeah, it is difficult most years, but this year for me, it was very easy. I think one of the biggest challenges that people are facing COVID-19 is just the challenge of making a living, of trying to figure out how to do this. And so anything that we can do to help economically and locally is such an important thing, especially if we have the capacity and we're sort of okay economically. And so my non-book gift here is a gift certificate to a local non-chain restaurant. So find out whoever you're giving the gift, wherever they are in the US or outside of it. I don't know if you can do this, but particularly in the US, find a restaurant they like or a great restaurant that doesn't belong to a national or international chain that's locally run. Buy them a gift certificate so they can at least go and pick up takeout or go sit outside or what have you, because we need to support local businesses because they are our future, and we have to do everything we can to help them out.
That is so important. I love that. That is a terrific idea. It really is. And the sad thing is that because of the situation we're in right now, a lot of the local restaurants are the ones that are not surviving. So I'm glad that you made a very big point, I think, of saying not a chain, which is really important. Yes. Augustin, let's just go back through the list again of your three books. The Mutant Projects by Ibn Kurtzi, Caste, The Origins of Discontent by Isabel Wilkinson, and yes, The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I love your choices and I love talking to you. I just want to find out very quickly what's going on with Agustin Fuentes for the future. Any more books on the way?
Well, we'll see. I'm actually revising a book I published nearly a decade ago called Race, Monogamy, and Other Lies They Told You, Busting Myths About Human Nature. So I'm in
Yes,
the
I've got
final
that.
stages of
Yes.
that, and it'll come out at the end of next year, 2021. So I'd love to come back and chat with you about it
Yeah,
then.
please let us know. Let us know, and we'll have you back on. It's always a pleasure. And I believe we're going to get you back on for one of our editions of Jukebox Jury so you can give us your views and some music, and we'd love that. It's been a delight as always. You're just a lovely gentleman. Love talking to you. Agustin Fuentes, anthropologist at Princeton. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful holiday season.
You as well, Norman. Take care, stay safe, and be well.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.